Incomplete.
Bless the mess.
I have not had time to look that up or ask Shazam, so someone please tell me.
By the time this actually goes out, I hope you would have Googled it.
Oh, I will not. I'll wait until someone tells me in the comments because
somebody will. That, or they'll just tell us how many times we said or they won't even tell us how many times. They'll just complain
that we say it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I know that, but that's not saying it as a word filler. It actually makes sense in that sentence. I feel that.
I feel as if I was judged for my word choice, and you can suck it.
I feel that I feel this is therapy.
Yes.
I feel that I notice listening back to our episodes, I think I notice it when we do say or like a lot. And I didn't in our last episode. So
I don't know. I think that person was just a bitch. And she was ugly. No, literally though, she was ugly.
So that means her opinion matters even less.
Yeah, no, that's pretty privilege means that your opinion matters. And when you're ugly, it matters even less. So if you're average, it better really be a good opinion.
Better be a good point. Better
if you're pretty, you can have a bad point and sometimes still get points. But if you're ugly and wrong, shut the fuck up. Don't be ugly and wrong. Or ugly and stupid. That's embarrassing.
Or dumb. Don't be ugly, dumb, or stupid. I mean, I
feel like, it's because your cup's fucking huge.
Oh.
Normally, I kind of know if I'm positioned because I can read the sign, and I'm like, she does. I was like, am I that much in the corner?
Can I not see?
I was like,
oh,
okay.
Sorry. Well, my cup is huge. You made me this cup.
I did. That's when that was really in.
So I don't know if have I ever had this on the podcast since we've been a video set.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we've talked about it on the podcast when we were audio only. But for anyone who can't see my lovely Starbucks cup,
it's so ugly.
that Jessica hand bedazzled for me and went through how many 2 cups? This was the second cup.
Was it?
I think you did one and you're like, I fucked it up. And so then you did another one. Let me just give a complete spin. There's one chunk down here.
It was
where the rhinestones fell off.
It was hard. That was really hard.
It endears it to me even more because I know that this is my cup.
Right? And there's a really horrible seam in the back.
Yeah.
So,
but from the front, it's not bad. Tell me that don't look kind of good.
Except that corner. The lid was aight.
The lid looks really good. There's one that's a dud.
Yeah.
There's one that's not shiny.
So yeah, the reason that happens is the glue. So yeah, that was a whole thing. I made this when it was during one of Shane Dawson's series he was doing because we were really into that. Not that he doesn't really do that anymore, but when he was,
it was when he was doing the makeup stuff, I think, or the Secret World of Jeffree Star. It was around that time.
Yeah, it was around that time, and so he's really into bedazzled Starbucks cups, and so was Trisha Paytas because they were all friends back then, and so I made you that because that was why.
And I still have it.
Yep.
We
didn't throw it out with any of the cancellations.
No, we did not. We're loyal.
Yeah, we're loyal fans.
Even though I don't know that I haven't really watched much Shane.
I watch his podcast now. Because that's really, for the most part, all he does. But he's actually funnier on his podcast than he was in the series. Shane's always been super animated. But yeah, his podcast is actually, he's getting more and more one thing that I hated, or one thing I loved about him growing up was that if you got it, you got it. And that was fine. But now, after all the cancellations, there was the whole I'm just kidding. Having to preface that you're kidding all the time. And he was doing that for a while. But I feel like lately, probably the past, few months, I've noticed he's slowly just kind of eased back into being himself. And I think if you get it, you get it. And I'm like, that's funny.
Well, it makes sense, though, that you would do something preface everything or say, it's kidding. I'm kidding. It's joking, guys. After everything you say, when you have been attacked. And people try to cancel you for things that you say when you're clearly making a joke.
Yeah. And it's out of context and out of the time period, out of who you were with, out of just the whole situation. And so I'm like, but yeah. So yeah, that's the story of I remembered, I still have. So those rhinestones, remember when we bought some of the ones for the Taylor Swift concert? That was what I bought originally and they're super cheap. but you have to get a certain type of rhinestone. Like you normally would order them like off Amazon or something or a craft store, whatever, that are specialized. So that way the glue doesn't actually melt them.
Oh, yeah. Because it like eats at the back of the silver paint on the back of them, which is what makes it like sparkle.
Yep. So anyway, that's that.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
that's it. See you guys next week.
Bye. Bye. We should roll the intro. Haven't said that in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Roll the intro. And let's talk about Hitler.
That'll make sense later.
I'm immaculately conceived.
I don't know what to do.
I swear I'm not stupid.
Take it or leave it. Sometimes you just want to leave it.
If I gotta borrow my mom's underwear, I'm borrowing her underwear.
You just, yeah.
Misa likes the Jar Jar Binks.
I'm not gonna edit it out.
Oh no.
I don't know. Like I think I'm just pretty great. Just staying on the planet.
Suck.
Why are you saying it with a question mark?
Clap, bitch.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Action.
And we're live. I forgot how to do it.
Help.
I'm Anna.
I'm Jessica.
And this is Why Are You Yelling?
We're not yelling a lot today.
No,
not yet. We'll probably get more energy in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, give it a little time. We'll cut some of the boring parts out.
Hopefully. Depends which version of Jessica edits the podcast. Depends whether or not like what's gonna get cut. Sometimes I'm like, whatever. That was a choice.
That was a choice we made in the moment, and we're committed to it.
And it's too late now. Just like that cough. You chose to do it. I don't know if I can edit it.
I don't know that I chose to cough. It kind of just happened.
I feel like when I cough, it just happens. Or when other people cough, I'm like, do you fucking mind? You know, like it's definitely
rude.
That like,
or like it's like when people clear their throat, and this isn't you.
It's me. I clear my throat a lot.
You're not like loud and obnoxious about it. There are some people who are loud, obnoxious throat clearers.
I think I know who you're talking about.
And I'm like, well, I clear my throat sometimes, and I'm like, I don't think it's that loud when I do mine. And some people do it hella loud.
You know, everyone's got their thing.
I guess I'm a loud chewer, but it's not because I smack.
No, she genuinely like has speakers in her fucking cheeks, dude. Like it's the loudest. And the thing
it's
is,
like mouth noises. It's like the chewing sound, and like even chips crunch louder. Like
a Sour Patch Kid.
It's just it chews gummier and wetter in my mouth. I don't know.
Yeah, on one of the first, I don't know, maybe not one of the first video podcasts, but you like right before you were like, not like
I'm not a loud chewer.
Nobody can chew this quietly. And then you handed me a Sour Patch Kid, and you're like, you chew it, and I chewed it, and I was like, can you hear me? And you were like, bitch. No. But then, fuck,
I chewed mine, and I just chewed normally.
And it was like, I'm like, what are you fucking eating? Goddamn barbed wire? Like, what is that? You chewing like metal chunks in there? You're gonna get them Jackie Kennedy teeth if you're not careful.
I don't get that reference.
You've never seen the picture? Look out Jackie Kennedy's teeth. She looks like a goddamn like prehistoric, like her teeth look demonic. Or something you would find a fossil of. And I say that with all the respect in the world.
Wait, why did it autocorrect to sheet metal?
But that's why.
It autocorrected Jackie Kennedy teeth sheet metal.
Yes, because that's what her teeth look like. She has some jacked up teeth, dude. And I'm not even trying to talk shit. Like it's one of those things that I was like, once it was pointed out to me, I was like, holy fuck. Do you see that?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
she got some like it looks like she filed her teeth in order to rip people's throats out.
They're a little all right then. Okay, ma'am, don't smile with teeth.
No, see, like some people deserve me to do that. Because I always viewed her as a beautiful lady, and then I said,
very stylish, but maybe that's to overcompensate for the teeth. You know, you like how sometimes you
that's true.
Do your makeup or hair or wear clothes a certain way to overcompensate for other things that you're trying to like hide or take away attention from. So
maybe that was it, but
maybe
I mean, she almost looked like she could have just bit that bullet and stopped at midair. She could have been like, holy fuck. She got them chompers.
Speaking of chompers, I saw a video on Twitter of this. It's called a mako shark, Mako, I think, that washed up on a beach. And Tina Fey, I don't know if it was the Tina Fey or someone else coincidentally named Tina Fey, but Tina Fey is filming. And there's this mako shark, which is known to have the second like strongest bite of any shark in the ocean. And it had washed up on the beach and was stuck. And like lifeguards and other like people, like wildlife people were like, there's nothing we can do. You just have to leave it there because it's too dangerous to try and put it back in the water. And so some like bystanders were like, we're going to help the shark. And so they start to like pull its tail and try to pull it toward the water. There's probably like 5 or 6 men and then the one woman just like filming.
Yeah.
And so they're starting to pull it toward the water. And then homie with the jacked up like chompers, he like flails and like they say tries to lunge at them, but also like he's a shark beached and people are pulling at him. Of course he's going to lunge. And so then they're all like backing up and like, and then the woman filming is like, it's too dangerous. Just leave it. There's nothing you can do. And then the one guy's like, I got this shark. And so he keeps like pulling the tail and eventually gets it into the water and kind of helps it like start to notice that it can move. And then eventually it swims away.
Humans are like, don't fucking tell me I can't do this shit. I'm going to figure it out. Don't know that I would ever do that.
No.
Like, I love animals, but
I'm not the one.
I will film it, but like I would not let Travis do that. Like there's not a lot that I would ever put my foot down and be like, I'm not gonna allow you, or you better not do that. But I'm like, no, literally, that's fucking stupid.
If it's you or the shark, you.
That shark can go.
There's more.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not an endangered shark.
And even if it was, it's called natural selection. I was like, it's called nature selection.
Same thing. It's called Mother Nature said fuck off. So
it's called Mother Nature chooses.
It's called Ash Ketchum didn't choose you. You got left in the Pokeball. No. Just no. It's just not happening.
I'm not the one to rescue like wild animals. I'm like, if it's a baby bird or I know you do sometimes. You had your lizard.
No, if it was a little baby animal, that's different. But I'm not gonna save an animal that could kill me. Just by like accident, like literally because it's
a squirrel could come at you. A bird could come at you.
Bye. I'm done with you. I'm not going to help an animal that is literally bigger than me and to the point that it can just look at me too fast and cut me with its teeth. A squirrel, that would be a very angry squirrel. And at that point, it wouldn't need my help.
Squirrels are evil.
No.
We've talked about this. Have we talked about it on the podcast?
I think we have because I think we've talked about your squirrel. Funny enough, this is Anna's squirrel.
Yeah, his name is Jeffrey. Joffrey? Yeah. Jeffrey.
I think I like Jeffrey better.
But it's spelled Joffrey.
Joffrey.
It's spelled with a G. Geof.
Joffrey.
But yeah, this is Jeffrey the squirrel. And I hate squirrels, for those who don't know. Squirrels are evil. They're demonic little rodents. They're rats with bushy tails. And I hate them. And I feel sad anytime I see one squished on the side of the road or they try to commit suicide in front of my car. And I will brake for them, but do not come near me.
You don't think they're cute at all?
No.
You don't think a baby squirrel is cute?
No.
See, so we've saved multiple baby squirrels. We have literally saved multiple, raised and released multiple baby squirrels. So I feel there's a video on my Instagram of Chewy licking a baby squirrel like it's
her dog.
Yeah, well, Chewy, our other dog. He has like very big maternal instincts despite being a boy dog, but like he loves like little tiny, he wants to protect them.
No.
So he's super protective of small babies.
That's not a good like trait for a dog. I guess it's good for domesticated dogs. I just moved a lot right there. I guess it's good for domesticated dogs, but in terms of like evolution, because mostly the instinct is to go after and hunt and kill small furry things.
Oh, see, no, Chewy's literally, this even happened a few months ago. Chewy went outside and he's the other Chow Chow. He was the first Chow Chow. And so he's actually Travis's dad's dog. That's why we bought him for him. But, we all live together, whatever.
And Chewy loves me.
Chewy's Chewy's the sweet one, unless he's not. So like out of the two dogs, Obi, I don't think he would ever bite somebody. Chewy is never going to run up and bite somebody, but Chewy is the type that
if he feels
threatened. So like if you were to corner Chewy and try to grab him, he's going to snap at you. I don't know that he'd bite you, but he's going to snap at you. Obi's not going to even do that. He's just going to like
back away and side eye
and go, and then if you corner him, he's just going to be like,
That's me. I'm Obi. I'm like,
I will. Yeah, I guess I'm more like Chewy. I'm like, don't fucking.
I'm the curl up and protect myself, and you're the lunge at
yeah,
them.
I'll be like, get the fuck out of my face. So anyway, Chewy went outside one day comes back and he found a baby possum and he brought it to the house, but it was like already injured. And so it died. But his instinct was to bring it to the house. And he was like,
someone help it.
He's like, this is my baby. And I'm like, no, you can't have babies.
He's like,
what do you mean?
don't tell me.
Like, what do you
How
mean?
I identify.
Yeah, I'm a mother. I'm a mother. So anyway, no. Yeah. So Anna hates squirrels and I'm the opposite.
Because, and I've told the story before, when I was at the zoo, when I was like 5 years old, they allowed you to bring in your food and like lunches and stuff. And so we had a little cooler with our lunches packed, and it was a family trip to the zoo. And I was eating my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We were seated in this little like pagoda type area, and squirrels are all just running around free. And I took the crust off my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and held it in the palm of my hand and held it out to the squirrel to eat. And then the squirrel bit me when it was taking my crust. And ever since then, I have
It didn't
hated.
mean to bite you.
It bit me. And
Well, you're
ever since then,
what kind of
I
dumb
have
dummy kid tries to give squirrels?
lots of dummy kids, okay?
What about some dumb dummies like here? Here, you might want to move your mic down. By the way, it's definitely right in front of your face. I was looking at it and I was like, I feel like it's right there. Okay, yeah,
The better.
Yeah.
It needs to be like chin height.
yeah. Which is this? Like, how have we switched problems?
I don't know. Why am
How?
I suddenly
Why are
having
you? That's
issues?
such an issue. Like, get it? Can you get it together?
Speaking of getting it together, I couldn't find my lip gloss in my purse earlier because my purse had dumped it. I explained to Jessica. I'll explain to the audience now because that's why we're here.
Yes.
So I was driving and I made a sharp turn and my purse wasn't zipped and it was in the front seat with me, and then it tipped over. So all of my like loose items fell out of my purse onto the floorboard of my passenger side. So it like tipped over toward my passenger side door.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought I had gotten everything out of it. Couldn't find my lip gloss to put on this morning. So I'm like, surely it, I'm like, maybe it fell into like the door, little compartment on the bottom of my passenger side door. So I went and looked for it. And I was like, oh, there's my lip gloss. I knew that bitch was in here. And then I found my chapstick too. And I was like, aha, I knew I did not leave the house without at least 2 forms of lip color. And as I was going to pick up the chapstick, I happened upon a Cheeto. Not just any Cheeto, a white cheddar baked Cheeto.
Ooh.
And it was either covered in dirt or mold. I don't know that Cheetos can get moldy, but it fully was still in its Cheeto shape. Like you could have, if it wouldn't have had spots on it, you could have picked it out the bag. Like, but what's even more disturbing is the fact that I cannot tell you, one, the last time I ate a white cheddar Cheeto. It's been years. It's probably been, I would say, at least 3 or 4 years since I've eaten a white cheddar Cheeto. Also, cannot tell you at any point in time when I ate a white cheddar Cheeto in my car or on that side of my car where it would have ended up in the passenger side door compartment.
Or maybe it's the ghost in your house.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anna has a ghost in her house, I guess.
Yes. So this past week, I have noticed things in my apartment happening that I could probably explain if I tried hard enough. But so I like to think that I am sensitive to, I call it the juju. I've got
the juju.
But I think I am sensitive to spiritual happenings and stuff like that. I get deja vu a lot. I'm not saying I'm psychic. I'm not. But I get deja vu a lot. I have dreams where things happen, stuff like that.
I feel like I'm sensitive to that stuff. I'm not saying I'm psychic, but there is one time that it really freaked me. That didn't freak me out. And I won't go into exactly what it is, but it had to do with you. And you'll probably know what I'm talking about. When we left Sierra's with the tarot cards. And everybody else thought I was talking about other person. So I was doing a reading and it was about Anna. There was 2 Anna, so I was doing a reading on her with tarot cards. And everybody thought the reading was about a certain person.
And you said it was like, it could be about this person.
It could be because I knew that's.
But you really were like, no, I know exactly who it's about.
And so we leave.
Literally, I like pulled out of the driveway and she calls me on the phone and I'm like, what?
And I'm like, I think that this reading was about this person, not that person. And it was like, within the month, the person I said contacted you.
Yes.
And I was like, I am psychic.
She was like, no, this is about this person. And I'm like,
you're like, nah. And I was like, nah,
okay, sure.
Is.
And then literally within that month it happened. And I was like, oh, okay.
My mom has always told us that we have that. I feel like everyone's parents says that. They're like, we're special. We're not like other families.
Well, my mama, so on my dad's side, my grandmother on my dad's side, she has ghost stories for days about like
Yeah.
which she's told you some before, like the house she still lives in, she has experienced ghostly stuff. And so does my dad.
Yeah, and I didn't want to know that when I
No.
slept there at all. Your mama is awesome. Cracked me the fuck up. We need to go back.
Yeah. But so back to my ghost encounters in my apartment. So I have been noticing like the past week or so, like things, I have really good like peripheral vision. Like I'm talking to the point where like when I'm sitting at work at my office, if something, it could be like a bug crawling across the floor, like 20 feet away, and I'll see it in my peripheral and be like, whoop, whip my head around and then it's there. Or like I'll see something flashing and it's like, oh, I can literally see like the light bulb just went out. Like it's like that's on the other side of the office. And anywho, I have really good peripheral vision. And the last like week or so, I have caught myself like whipping my head to either side, like just at random moments when there's nothing moving.
Yeah.
There's no reasonable explanation for me to be catching like my peripheral vision to be
the
like
actual worst feeling in the world.
I'm like, something just moved and I don't know what it was. And normally, like I said, I know what it is. I can say, oh, well, XYZ moved, or it was my cat, or it was, you know, a curtain blowing, but like nothing. And so it's happened several times. It's happened a couple times when I'm like walking down my stairs. And when I get toward the bottom of the stairs, I like will see something up here. And it's not like, because I have where my front door is, there's like a half circle sort of window at the top of my door. And so you can see it, and it's right at the bottom of my stairs. So you can see it coming down my stairs, but it's not even like it's my reflection getting caught or me seeing something outside through the window that's catching my peripheral vision. No, literally, it's like higher up than that. And I'm like, my head like jerks up because I'm like gonna run into something or hit something or something's coming down at me and I can see it. And it's happened a couple times and I'm just like, what the freak is going on? And but yeah, multiple like peripheral vision issues. And then
No.
And so I told you the thing about my cat's bowl.
Yeah.
And it could be explained as it was the cat. I'll explain to you now. So I have 2 cats and they each have their own separate food bowls. One of the food bowls is like a wrought iron sort of thing that sits up higher off the ground and holds the bowls. And it has like exposed ends. And so one of my cats is stupid and that's not his regular bowl he eats out of. But whenever he does try to eat out of that bowl, sometimes if he has his collar on, he somehow gets it caught on the edge of one of the like pieces of wrought iron. And then it freaks him out. And then he like flips out and then he like flings the bowl and it's his whole big clatter and like bang. And then the food goes everywhere. But like, I know what it is. So like if the bowl ends up on one side of the kitchen or dining room and then the container, the holder is on the other and there's food everywhere, like I know what happened. Or usually I'll hear it, right? So I'm walking through my dining area and I noticed that this bowl and the holder is on the other side of my like dining room table from where it should be. And there's no, to me, reasonable explanation of how it got over there. Like I'm talking, it's probably a good 4 to 5 feet from where it should be, like against a different wall. It has to go across a carpet. Like it's this whole thing where I'm like, this is not a case of like my cat getting his collar caught on this and it flinging, because the bowl is still situated inside the holder.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's on its side and it's not like it's only a couple feet away. It literally is across the room. And I'm just like, and it doesn't make sense how it got there, because you could also, again, me trying to rationalize, you could also say, oh, well, maybe there was like food in the bowl. And as they were trying to eat the food, they were like pushing the bowl across the room. No, because this particular bowl and holder is against a wall. And when my cat eats from it, or when either of them eats from it, they're facing the wall. So it's not like it's in the middle of the room or set off the wall and they're behind it and then pushing it out. Like the only way for them to push it out that way, like there's not really a way for that to happen and for it to go in the direction it did. There's just no conceivable explanation to me of how this happened. And I'm like, I surely did not pick it up and move it. So I don't know how it got there.
I can't deal with it. No, literally, I can't.
And that was where I was like, oh, okay. And then I've been hearing things too.
No.
Like where, so it was the that day when I was texting you about it, and
And I was like, bye.
I was sitting on my couch and I heard what sounded like almost like if you had taken like a screw or some small thing that's metal, and then almost like if you had like dropped it on the table and then on the floor where it would make like a ping 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 ping, poof, like a ping, a couple ping noises and like a plop, like it hit the bounced rolled and then dropped from the table to the floor. That's kind of what it sounded like.
Mm-hmm.
And it came from by my dining room table, which is, again, maybe 2-3 feet from where I was sitting. And I look over, there's nothing. Like, there's not even really anything on my table that would make that noise, but I didn't see anything on the floor. And also, I have a carpet right, like, under my dining room table, and it extends a little past it. So if anything fell off the table, if it went ping, ping, ping on the table, it would have probably hit the carpet before it. Yeah. So I just don't know what made that noise. And my cat wasn't over there. Neither of the cats were over in that direction where it came from. So
I don't know, but I don't love that.
And squeaking, I've heard squeaking and like scurrying type noises, but I don't have any mice or rats that I'm aware of. Like I can't see any evidence of them.
Yeah.
And so I have had birds in my wall before. But I know what that sounds like. So it wasn't birds in my wall.
I now never want to go to your house again because I'm like, I don't know that we've ever talked about this on here before, but like I had an extremely, what I consider a very paranormal type experience when I was a teenager with my best friend Diana. And it traumatized me. And that was why the movie Paranormal Activity traumatized me so bad, because like the haunting we experienced at the house she lived in at the time was scary. It wasn't just like, oh, quirky, weird. It was like terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Where I was like, am I gonna die? Like, is this thing gonna like, so like, that was that type of scary. And so I can't even stand sometimes to like, I can't watch movies that are about that. Like, I'm so sensitive to it now. Like, I can't enjoy horror movies. I can enjoy a slasher movie because like it's a human, but anything, I've never seen any of those Annabelle movies. I've never seen any of those, like none. Because it literally
possessions and hauntings.
I can't do it. Like it's not even that. It's like I think the concept of those are so interesting and so cool. The only one I've seen is The Boy, but that was okay because of how it ended up being. Because The Boy has a really, really good twist. If you have not seen The Boy, you should go see it.
It's been out for a lot of years.
It's been out a long time. You should go watch it.
This is your spoiler alert. If you ever plan on watching it, we will spoil it now.
Well, all I'll say is it's not your typical ghost movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it really is just,
you think it's a ghost.
You think it's a ghost, and then I think people that get annoyed and are non-believers would watch that movie and they're like, oh fuck, like even Travis, he's not a believer in this stuff. But when we all watched The Boy, he was like, that was pretty like creative. Like that was pretty cool because he's like, oh wow, that's like, did not see that. So anyway,
did not see it. I was like, what? When I saw it in theater.
It was, I think Lauren saw it first. Maybe her and Sierra. Because
I think we all went together.
Well, I don't think I did it first because I'm not into that. And Lauren later was like, no, I promise you'll like it. You'll like it because of this. And I was like, okay. And I think we went again. I think she saw it because her and Sierra will watch that shit together. Yeah. Remember, they used to go see movies like that together. Fuck nah. Y'all just let me know how it is, I guess. I don't care.
I am very particular about the scary movies that I will watch because not all of them like strike my fancy. Like ones like I know Insidious is a popular one, and like The Ring or whatever was really big when it came out, and The Grudge and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen all those. I hate them.
I have not seen any of them because I'm just like I have no desire. But like I love The Boy. That was really good. I love It and It Part 2.
But see that I guess that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Like those types. I haven't seen It actually, but that's just because clowns creep me out. But I think that's something I could watch and I would be fine. It's the actual paranormal ghost type of a thing, the haunting movies. Any type of haunting, I'm like, I'm not into it. Like, I will not do it. Like, have I seen... Okay, I say that, but I also have seen almost all the Paranormal Activity movies.
Mm-hmm.
But the first one... But they actually have all traumatized me after I've watched them. And I'm like, I've learned my lesson. Like, I just can't. They scare me so bad. Because I just can't.
See, and I'm the opposite, too, to where... I'm more scared. I'm less scared of like paranormal type stuff. Like when it's a scary movie, I'm more scared of like actual things that could realistically happen. So like there's a movie like The Cabin in the Woods or like The Strangers
Okay.
Where the people,
okay,
which
fair.
one is the one where it's they're wearing like the masks? Strangers.
Yeah.
Fucked me all the way
So
up.
I never saw that. Shane Dawson talked about that movie because he made Ryland watch it.
Terrifying.
And they were talking about how scary it was. So that creeps me out mostly because
oh my god, there's a scene.
Because as of people, it's like they literally just decided to do that for no reason.
There's a scene in the movie.
No.
Oh my god, they've already had like the creepy knocking, and she's like in the house by herself, and she's like trying to call somebody, and like they've already cut the phone line, so she's like the phone's not working. And so literally the camera is framed, so you see her, she's standing in like the kitchen or something, and you see the bitch with the mask on, she's in the house. And you don't know that she's in the house yet. And then she's in the house, and you see her just like, she like dashes across like a doorway in the background of the camera, and it's blurred out. So you really, if you blink, you'll miss it. And it is,
no,
I'm getting chills.
No,
oh my God, it's terrifying.
There's certain movies I'm just not into.
And you're like, she's in my house.
Because it's like, I appreciate what those movies do, and I appreciate how, because you can be like, horror is such a creative genre.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, that's just not for me. Like, our friend Max loves horror. He loves it. Him and Lauren go to like horror conventions, and that's awesome. I can appreciate it, but it just scares me so much. And like, it just fucks me up psychologically. But no, so yeah, back to the paranormal part though. My thing is like you were saying, like you're sensitive. You think you're sensitive to that stuff, and I was like, I think I am too, and it freaks me the fuck out bad though. Like I'm like, because I think though, and I'll scare myself, and now I'm like,
you get like worked
I've never
up
gotten any kind of feeling in your house though, but I'm like, so it makes me wonder.
I wonder if it's a new. It followed me home.
I don't know. Did you go anywhere? Where have you been
recently?
Yeah, because if something new's happening, then you have to like analyze. Where have you been? What have you touched? What have you bought? And has anybody new moved in? Because you live in an apartment complex.
Someone moved. People move in and out of that apartment complex.
But
all
if they
the time.
do anything weird in there, then you never know. So maybe you need to cleanse your apartment.
Maybe I might need to do a little juju.
It's like sage and shit does that.
Yeah, you can burn sage and smoke it out and stuff and cleanse it that way. I'm like seriously like maybe I need to call somebody and be like what I need help. What do I need to do?
Like what do I do for this? My brother would know. My brother will know. I'm
trying to think. I don't know that the only places I've been recently, like before this started happening, was and it's been happening since before you and I went to Tallahassee because we went there last weekend. And so like
we didn't even buy anything. So.
No. I'm trying to think if I brought anything into my house that's like used or someone else's recently. But I can't think of anything.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe somebody did something in one of the apartments that's been in and out.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I literally I think it's so funny how not neighborly I am when it comes to like I just feel like a lot of people, especially in the South, are very much like get to know your neighbor and want to know the people who are living next door to you. And even when I grew up, like the neighborhood I grew up in Louisiana, like my dad's parents have lived in, they're still in the house that they were in when my dad was a child. Yeah. So they've been in that house. You know, my grandmother's been in that house for 30, 40 years at this point. Like, yeah. So she's been in there forever. And so like, and a lot of their neighbors have remained the same. Yeah. And so I still know who their neighbors are when they're like, oh, Mr. So-and-so or Ms. So-and-so, you know, the people that live across the street. I'm like, yeah, I know them. They've been there since I was a child. Like, yeah, I know who they are.
Isn't that weird? Because my grandparents still live in the same exact house that my mom and them pretty much grew up in. Well, at least like as teenagers or like young children, maybe 10, 13. I don't know how old they were exactly, but they still live in that house. And it's like, has it like virtually remained untouched? Like to your dad, like if your dad goes there, is he like, it looks the exact same as it did when he was a kid? Or like did like when it comes to the flooring and like the wallpaper is like the same?
No, it's not exactly the same. Yeah. Because they've done some redecorating over the years. So, you know, like wallpaper, paint or stuff like that. And they've changed out the furniture some. But my grandparents are very much like, they'll stick with one sort of like style that they like. Yeah. And then it's that way for 10 or 15 years. So like if they buy a couch, that's their couch until they literally have to get a new one. Well, yeah. I mean, but they also don't have like kids or pets in their house. So their furniture lasts a long time.
Well, I'm like, who wants to buy a couch all the time? Like it was really funny. So my family was really, really, really big into taking pictures, especially
Mm-hmm.
in the film cameras type of a thing, like
Mm-hmm.
the disposable cameras. And so when me and Travis were there, I don't even remember the last time we were there together, but we were going through pictures. And it's funny because he like looks at it and he looks around, he goes, it's so weird how like this picture was taken in this room with the same carpet and the same walls, and
Mm-hmm.
there's still some of the same things. Like, it's like a time capsule. He goes, it's like this house has not like
Mm-hmm.
evolved or moved. It's like and I will say, like, thankfully I don't think my grandma watches this, so I'll just be honest. Like, that house is just, it's heavy in that house. There's so much that's happened. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's weird how like houses have like memories and you can feel it when you walk
Mm-hmm.
in. But no, like you talking about like your house might, if it's haunted, your apartment. But I'm like, I've never felt anything weird, but I haven't been there lately.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm very sensitive to that stuff. I feel like I'm very much like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope. Because I always had that feeling at my grandma's house, and I lived there for a while. And it's weird because like there are things that even so, like my I feel like my whole family's a little sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
But even at my cousin's house, the house she grew up in, there was this corner in her room that whenever I spent the night at her house, I felt was just a weird corner of the room. Weird energy there. If I had a nightmare, that's where I would immediately look up at. And we were way older. This was probably in the past, I don't know, it had to be in the past 5 years. Me and her were talking about it. And I was like, did you ever like get a weird feeling in your room? And she's like, yeah, in the corner where the door was. I was like, what? What did you say? She's
No,
like,
it's like, shut up.
and she's like, no, literally. And we were talking about how there was this weird corner in the room for no reason. It wasn't like it. Anyway, it's just super bizarre. Maybe I guess I need to go to your house. I'll be able to tell you it's haunted.
Sense.
I don't want to. I need to wait till everyone's home though.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go home and be like,
you're like, well,
I don't. Did it come
is it here now?
No, nah. I can't deal with that. It freaks me out.
I mean, I don't feel anything like sinister, if that helps.
I don't care if it's in. It needs to go.
Because like I know that it's easy to. So like my grandmother's house in Louisiana, her house has always scared me at night.
Yeah.
Like it's the kind of house where you turn on a light. Like if you got to get up in the middle of the night to go get a glass of water or something, you turn on every single light
on the way there.
And then when you turn off that last light in the hallway, you run to your bedroom door and slam the door shut.
Yeah, and you have to jump on the bed.
Yes.
Immediately. And cover yourself up as fast as you can.
Yes. So that is what, like, her house still to this day, like at night, and I don't know if it's because it's like so quiet or like so dark, or if it's just like my childhood memories, influencing how I
feel. The dolls don't help.
Yeah. But so like it's still like at night, like once I'm in that bedroom, I'm in that bedroom. Like if I stay over at their house or something, it's like the door shut, like we're good. No one's coming in.
That's what's funny is like whenever I went and stayed with you there for a few days, like I was in a different room than you, and part of me was like, I don't want to sleep in here by myself, but the beds weren't big enough for us to share, and they already thought you were a lesbian. And they thought I was your girlfriend. I almost played into it just to be a dick, but but no. And so then I was like, well, I don't want to add fuel to this narrative. Like I'm with your house just creeps me out, which it's not your fault.
No,
it's just a thing, man.
Well, I mean, which I think we've talked about on the podcast before. I don't remember, but the house in that neighborhood, it's like at the very back of a neighborhood, and it was built on top of the old shipping yard that used to be back there, which was built on top of an old Native American burial ground.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
So yeah. Oh no.
Oh no.
So it is very
I'm pretty sure there were. I don't know if this is true. You know how some people just talk, and when you're little, you just hear it, and you're like, "This is the lore of my family."
Yeah.
This is the lore. So there were rumors that the house that my grandma lives in was built on top of something like that. But the thing that I think is fact, which I'll have to double check with my brother, he'll know. Next door to that is like a shop that my granddad used to work at, like a mechanic shop. And I was told that I don't even know when this would have been. When they were doing some construction there, they found caskets. And I'm assuming those must have been slave caskets, and not as what the implication was. And and it was like right next door to the house. So, because my grandma's house is creepy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like genuinely creepy. Like, seen shit, heard shit, like you need to have every single light on type of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've had sleep paralysis there so many times. What's funny is I have trained myself how to get out of that so quickly now, which I feel like is an odd skill to have.
It is.
Like, I can get out of that so quickly that it feels like a superpower. I had that last night because I was in and out of sleep. I mean, because sleep paralysis is not just like, it's not like this supernatural thing. It just happens where your body falls asleep, but your brain is suddenly conscious, but your body has not realized that yet.
Mm-hmm.
And all you need to do is try to move. But you have to do it so fucking hard, and you'll wake up quick. But then you feel so fucking like groggy. It feels impossible because you feel like cement almost. But yeah, it's a really weird skill. I can get out of that fucking quick.
I've experienced sleep paralysis maybe like twice in my life that I remember, but I remember we were in a hotel room when I learned what it was. So like I was on vacation with somebody and I was younger, so it's probably like somewhere between like 7 and 9 years old. And it was there was one vacation I took with my grandparents where me and my brother like drove from Louisiana up to like the Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah.
And whatever. So I think it might have been during that vacation. But anywho, so we were in a hotel room and on the TV, they were playing this. It was one of those like crime shows or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it was talking about a crime that actually did happen. It was like a murder mystery type thing, like a true crime thing. And before true crime became true crime. And
that's I blame my granddad for making me so fascinated with that. He used to watch this all the time.
And they were talking about this guy who, it was either a man or a woman. I think it was a man. And they thought he committed murder, but he said that he was asleep. And so they were trying to explain like sleep paralysis and sleepwalking and how it works. So basically, and that's how I learned kind of what all that was. So basically it explained that when you fall asleep, and then your brain is still super active when you're sleeping, but there's almost like a gateway, sort of like if you think of like if there's a guard that has a gate into like a gated neighborhood or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you go to sleep, the gate is down. And so all the stuff can be going on inside the neighborhood, like in your brain, all this activity, you're dreaming and stuff. But because that gate is down, your brain then cannot pass any signals to your body to then move and react to what you're dreaming about, right? So like if you're in a dream and you're, fighting somebody in your dream, if that gate is down, your brain then, if it sends any signals to your body to like fight back in your dream, like to throw a punch or kick or something, then that gate prevents the signal from getting out to your body so you don't move, right? Now, people who sleepwalk, there's an issue with that gate being kind of open and the guard's like snoozing, right? So the guard's not paying attention. So your brain, you can be asleep and your brain is sending like signals to your body. And so then you start moving or talking or doing stuff in your sleep without being conscious of it.
That is a short film.
And that,
that's funny.
And then, so then the sleep paralysis is the opposite problem. Sleep paralysis is where like the guard is like hyperactive and ain't nobody getting through, but your brain is like, no.
Let me out.
I'm awake.
Let me out.
Let me out. And then trying to send signals. And so your eyes are open and you're conscious. But like, no matter how many times your brain tries to send signals, your body will not cooperate and will not move. You can't speak. And that's the paralysis part. So that was really interesting to me.
And it's like with sleep paralysis too. I mean, it's not some people, I think everybody probably experiences it maybe a little different. I don't know that I've ever had there with my eyes wide open. I know like I've been trying to open them and you're like a little conscious, but like you're conscious and you're just like, come on. And then it's literally the second a signal goes to your physical body, you're just like ripped out of it. You're like, oh, I'm good, y'all. But it is the first
panic inducing is what it is.
Well, it is. To me, I don't panic so much now because I know what it is. I know how to get out of it.
Just a physical
like I know
phenomenon.
But yeah, like when I would experience that at my grandmother's house, it felt very paranormal. It felt terrifying. And I'm not saying some of it wasn't, because it definitely felt different there than it does like if I experience it now. Most of the time that happens because I have the TV on and I'm like kind of listening to that. And so I like float in between. And when you're like, that's why I don't like to nap a lot, because I experience it more when I try to nap, because you're floating in between sleep sort of. And that I think is why like the guard's like, what am I doing? What am I doing here?
It's like gate is malfunctioning. Up, down, up, down,
yeah,
up, down.
So I think that that's another reason I'm like, fuck a nap. I love it. I can't nap. I'm not a good nap person. But yeah, so your house is haunted.
Yeah.
That's not fun for you.
No.
Or me to even think about, because if I think about it, it's gonna know and come scare me.
I mean, I haven't sensed anything like sinister, or like evil or mean.
I don't need it
intended.
to be evil or mean. I'm just not into it. I will say Diana's was definitely evil and mean and sinister and disgusting. And oh my gosh, speaking of paranormal stuff, and this will lead into our other story. The fact that they sell Ouija board shirts is offensive, disgusting, and should not be legal. That is the kind of thing we should be regulating that people do to their bodies. You should not be allowed to wear that. Because it's bad juju.
You do not fuck with anything that even remotely resembles a Ouija board. I don't care if it's a tattoo. I don't care if it's printed on a t-shirt. I don't care if it's an actual board or like a game. Nothing. No. We don't fuck with it.
I've done a Ouija board. It was the biggest mistake. It was one of the biggest mistakes in my life. I genuinely mean that. And I've made a lot. It was horrible. It was so, oh my God. I was 13 and I'm young now. You know, it's been a little bit of time, but it's still is terrifying. Like it was so horrible. It was so horrible. Even Diana is like, it was so bad. It was so bad. Like whatever was in her house, we did a Ouija board. That's a story for a different day. We can save that for Halloween. But like, yeah, we can talk more about it. That was horrible.
Spooky.
Yeah, we can have candles, but not like we won't summon anything. No. So we're at Target and we see that. I guess
a Ouija board t-shirt.
A Ouija board, sweatshirt, t-shirt, whatever. Okay, so we had something kind of funny happen at Target, but before we got to Target, I wanted to jean shop because I was really upset. I bought a bunch of jeans from Old Navy online because they had like all their jeans were 50% off. Old Navy, some of your jeans slap and some of them are just trash. Some of them fit great, and then like some of the OG loose looked good, and then they had weird bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a whole thing. So me and Anna, we were looking for heels for our friend's wedding and jeans because I wanted a jean shop. It was awful. The mall was useless. It wasted so much of our time. It was disturbing, awful, and I literally just don't know why we bothered now because like the mall's just horrible. It was just like the biggest.
It was a waste of time.
Like because the whole day went. Like if I would have just known, Target.
You know, Target is that bitch.
It really is. They are that bitch. They, them, her, he, whatever, the girly. I don't know, Target is that bitch. Like, I had bought some Target jeans before, and I liked them, but because of, like, the whole wide style we're doing, like, you know, jeans stretch over time, and those jeans are so stretched now that no matter even if I wash them, it's like it ain't happening.
Yeah, so the Target jeans, so we were on the hunt for, apparently we are destined to always have very similar wardrobes. Because it just so happens we have similar senses of style.
Yeah.
And so we have multiple times bought like matching pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
Or like jackets.
We'll get a different color though.
Yeah. It's like, well, I can't get the same exact color. So like I'll get it in black and you get it in red or something like that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you convinced me to try the pants I'm wearing today, which is the button fly. And it's got like a straight leg. So it's wider than because I've always been a skinny jean sort of person.
Yeah.
And you convinced me to try this one. And I'm like, oh, they're so much more comfortable. And you're like, I'm telling you. So we were on the hunt for some wider leg jeans, whether they were like a straight fit or a looser or wide leg or flared, boot cut, whatever. We were open.
Yeah, we were open because I mean, I have a few that are already kind of like that. But I'm like, no, I want them where they're tighter on my, because I don't want a like flabby ass. I still want it to be tight on my ass. And the top, the very, very tops of my thigh, if it can be, and then it can get looser and it's fine. As long as as long as it's tight in that area.
It's got to be snug on the waist and through the hips and butt. Once we get to the thigh area, then it can start to loosen up. Yes. But if it's not like tight and sculpted to your booty, it just looks baggy.
You don't look good. Yeah, you just look like a sack of potatoes.
The only person who looks good in that kind of pants is somebody who is like, what is it? Heroin thin. Like the 90s when
like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera.
It was like heroin chic or whatever. It's like the skinny was like the thing that was in. Like that's the only person who looks good in that. Somebody super tiny.
But that's also because they're half the time they're showing off their toned stomach.
Yeah.
Because the part of it is those things look okay as long as you can showcase that like
You do have a body underneath it.
Yes, you have a body. So you have to like kind of, whether it's a crop top or whether it's a
Like
really,
a tight
really tight
fitting shirt and stuff. Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't wear like a baggy shirt but you just, I mean, that ain't it, dog. But so we're on the hunt for these. We went to Old Navy, trash, nothing at any of the department stores like JCPenney, Belk wasn't it. Went to American Eagle, and American Eagle was not it for me.
The jeans at American Eagle, which I've never been a American Eagle jean person. You have sung their praises and you were like, I used to love their jeans. And I was like, okay, well, let's go try and see. And so we tried on a couple different pairs and they felt really thin. Like the for as expensive as they were.
They felt like Ross.
The denim felt very cheap.
Yeah, like I should have went them and bought them at Ross.
Like they would have torn and worn very quickly.
Yeah, I wasn't into that. Like $50, $60 for a pair of jeans that literally feels like less material than like my underwear. Like what?
It was very thin, which is odd.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can buy, so denim I think doesn't have to be stiff.
No.
Or anything, but it still needs to be pretty thick. And it was just, it was trash. The fits were weird and trash and just did not do anything.
No, it was
And
nothing.
I'm like, well, maybe is American Eagle like made for not like women, like a woman's body? Is it made for like a teenager, like prepubescent?
I don't know.
Early puberty body? Because I'm like, it was doing nothing for hips and butt and legs.
No, it wasn't it. So we finally go to Target and they answered all our prayers. We found a bunch of jeans there. But the funny thing is that like we get there and it honestly just looks like a tornado of chaos has hit this store. Everything is horrible looking. And I'm not trying to talk shit about the people that work there. I'm just saying like so many clothes were unfolded to the point that it wasn't just like, oh, one person put a pair of jeans back there. The whole display was fucked up. There was a bunch of stuff on the floor. It was bad.
Nothing was folded right. Like, and it was just this, it wasn't even the one table we were looking at that had jeans. It was multiple different areas where they weren't folded. You couldn't easily see the style or the sizes. There were styles and sizes all mixed together.
No.
Like Old Navy are on their shit about making sure that everything looks neat and organized for the most part. Like this Target, it was a shit show. Like you couldn't even really find, like it was to the point where it's like overwhelming to where I don't even want to look through this.
Exactly. So that's where I came in.
Jessica saved the day.
I just was like, no, I am finding something here. And so we slowly started to go through because the only way to do was to pick up a pair, see what it said on the tag, and then see if it was your size. And then I just started to fold them as I was going through.
And put them in the appropriate like stacks, more or less.
In a way. I mean, they're not all of them were like that because my biggest thing was at least if you fold them all, they're way easier to go through.
You can actually read the tag because like the tags were on the folded over the butt and like the edge of the pants. So like as long as it was folded and you could look at the tops of the pants, you could literally pick up a stack, turn it, and then you could read the size and the style. So as long as you could do that, it's fine.
So I ended up folding the entire table because we were going through them all. Mm-hmm. So I did, and at one point, Anna's like, Jessica Nicole Humphreys, stop doing that. And
we have a whole other store to get through.
And I was like, okay.
You are not going to fold all these pants. And she's like, oh, all right.
And I did.
And then she folded them all.
But it was funny because later on you were like, I'm really glad you did this because we had to go back and look again and it was way easier.
Yeah.
But I kept making the joke because we went to another stack of jeans and it was also trash. And I just, because it was like, as I'm going through them, I just folded them. It wasn't like I was trying to clean the store. Mm-hmm. It was just that like, well, what am I? I'm not a heathen. Yeah. I wasn't raised in a barn. So I had made the joke to Anna when we were back at the first stack because we were looking for a very particular style that I had found that we were trying to find a different size in and also that you had liked. Mm-hmm. So we were basically trying to find the same pair of jeans, which we ended up finding. So, which I'm wearing today. I love them. And I can't believe how many jeans we found at Target we liked though. That was just crazy. But no, so I made the joke to you. I was like, man, they might as well just let me clock in here. Because at this point, it's like I work here or something. And like maybe 3 minutes later, this girl walks up to me. She goes, excuse me, is that the only place that you guys have your
the shorts?
The shorts? And I was like, oh, I don't work here. As I'm folding more jeans, putting them up.
As she's literally sitting at the table just folding jeans.
I was like, oh no, I don't work here. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like and I was like, it's okay. I would think I work here too. Like it's fine.
But also, because I've had this happen before where like I've been in other stores and people have asked me that or like thought that I worked there and I'm like, no, I don't work here. But I'm like, how unobservant are you to walk into a Target where the employees all wear khaki pants and red shirts and have a Target name tag? You were not wearing any of that.
No.
You were wearing a tank top. I'm pretty sure black or blue.
It was a black bodysuit tank top.
Yeah, a black tank top and ripped jeans.
Yeah. No, they weren't ripped, but they were baggy jeans.
And jeans.
Yeah.
And she thought you worked there because you were folding a pair of jeans?
I think she overheard me. And I think she overheard me say, they might as well just go ahead and let me clock in. So she might have thought maybe I was an off the clock employee that was there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would have just known. So if that's what she heard, then I get why she thought that I would have worked there. But that shit, I laughed so hard and I was like, nah, honey. But maybe I should because I wanted to clean it. I wanted to go back today and clean it now.
And organize.
Because I'm like,
who works here?
Who is... and I understand that people are having a rough time keeping employees, so I'm not even trying to talk shit. I'm just like, can I just have a shirt? I'll clean it. Like, it's fine. Like, it literally, I will get joy out of organizing this because I love to, other people's places, I will organize all day. It's so fun to me. My own life, don't talk to me. But anyway, but you said you noticed something there that I didn't.
Oh my God. I was like, this is embarrassing. This is awkward.
Was it the want people?
No.
We heard that too. Anna would. So
I did not hear.
We have this joke, and I think I've done it with you. And for those of you that know who James Charles is, you've probably seen the infamous video of him going womp womp womp. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had to do the whole thing, and then he goes. Like, it's who's watching me. I heard someone do that in Target, and you wouldn't let me womp 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 back at them.
She was like, I want to do it back to them. Like, no.
I wanted to do it like Marco Polo. Like, I wanted to just be like, womp, 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 and see if somebody yelled, yeah, yeah, yeah. Can we make that a game? Please, guys, can we make the James Charles noise the new Marco Polo? So, like, just in stores from now on,
if you hear a womp, womp, womp,
you got to go, yeah, 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 yeah. So it's kind of like when people, have you heard this before? When people go, can I get a? And then people will go, oh, yeah. That's a thing.
I've seen on.
So,
yes.
Can we also make the James Charles noise that? Because that is fucking funny. Can someone on an airplane please just start to go, womp, womp, womp?
If you ever see Jessica out in the wild.
If you see me out in the wild, I will.
Please, she will do it.
I will, yeah.
She'll do it.
Back at you.
So what I noticed, so do you remember when we were standing there folding jeans and stuff, and that one girl was like, oh my God, you're so pretty. I said that to you.
Yeah.
And not me. No.
Bitch.
So that same girl, so at one point when we had first gotten to like that table of jeans or whatever, you were on one side, I was on the other. And so I had like squatted down to look at like the bottom rack of jeans or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so she walked up on this side of the table and was walking, I guess, toward her friend who was a little bit further past us.
Mm-hmm.
And she started to say something like, oh my God, you had disappeared. I was looking for you or whatever. And I thought that it was you saying that to me. Yeah. And so I started to like laugh and like looked up and it was not you. And like she made eye contact with me, like laughing at what she said. And I was like, you were not speaking to me. Okay. And so I just like went back to my jeans and was like, literally kill me. And so, but then she and her friend just stand there and are continuing having their conversation, talking near us, like looking at whatever they're looking at. And I'm just like, can you leave? This is embarrassing. I need you to walk away and pretend like this didn't happen. I was like, oh my God. And so then a little bit while later, when she was the same one that was like, oh my, excuse me, you're just so pretty. And you were like, thanks.
Well, at first I looked, I was like, is she talking to me?
Like, who is she talking to?
Me, thanks.
Yeah. And so I was just like, oh, it was super mortifying for me in that moment. And I like, I've been thinking about it and I'm like, it literally was inconsequential.
No, it happens to me where I'm just like,
that was not, it's like, it's the same.
Have you ever complimented a girl before and she wasn't like, oh my gosh, thank you. And you're like, okay, fucking bitch.
No, I don't give people compliments in public like that.
I get really offended as a woman when I compliment like another girl and not like in a creepy way. If I'm just like, oh my gosh, like you're so pretty. And they're just like, okay. And I'm like, okay, you ugly bitch.
You're not pretty anymore.
Yeah, okay, ugly on the inside then. Looks ain't everything. Yeah. As a man, if I am complimented by a man, what am I trying to say?
I don't know. words.
It's different to me if a woman compliments me than a man.
Mhm.
Because I mean, it's coming from a place of just like someone just being really nice and whatnot. And you always feel like there's an ulterior motive for a man because of biology and just, that's how
society.
it is. So yeah, I get offended if women don't like my compliments because it's not like I don't do it often. And I'm not like, hey, girl, you're really pretty.
You should be appreciative of my compliment.
Yeah.
Give me a smile.
Can I get a smile? Why aren't you smiling?
I went out of my way to compliment you and you don't appreciate it and you aren't smiling and thankful. Because
remember, we were talking about like, if a guy were to just compliment me, I would smile. But if he says, why aren't you smiling? I'm like, why don't you kill yourself? So if I compliment you and you don't smile, you're still a bitch. I know that all of what I said is problematic, but
hey,
whatever.
We're not perfect.
No.
We got to have some flaws.
Exactly.
We got to make it fair for all these other
Because
bitches.
I'm like, bitch, if you're looking good, you dressed up for yourself and you're dressing for a woman and you're not dressing for a man. So if I'm complimenting you, why are you not receptive to that? Isn't that why you dressed up? And I'm not even being weird. I'm just like, damn, your outfit looks good or your makeup looks so pretty. Like, I always get excited because a man has never given me a compliment on my winged eyeliner, but girls always compliment it. And I'm like, thank you. And what if I was just like, okay? Like, I'd be a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
You'd be a cunt. Okay. That was that. Where are we at? Oh, it's an hour.
Okay.
Guys, that was, I don't know what we talked about, but.
Just blacked out. We came into this not prepared at all. So that was flying by the seat of our pants.
It was all by our new pants.
Our new pants. That we got from Target.
Thanks, Target.
Sponsor us.
Yeah, and that'd be great. Okay, well, that's pretty much that. Should be up Friday. We're going to try this. I know I have to give you the other one, but my thought process is the other one was late, so I'm going to have the other one to you today. So it can go up Tuesday, and then this one will be Friday and how it's supposed to be.
Okay.
These are my goals. Okay.
All right.
On that note, peace out, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Later.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that episode, go ahead and hit that like button. And while you're at it, hit the fucking subscribe button. Stop making me beg. We'll talk at you next time, and remember, don't be ugly, dumb, or stupid.